It's in these crises, that I have felt crises in my own faith. Not in my faith in Allah, but in my faith in myself. To be able to rise to the challenge and know that Allah is on my side. And to know that I have not just a responsibility, but an opportunity in the face of crisis. And so in my home, my husband and I first jokingly created a new word to encompass the way that we feel in these moments. And it has become a word that we actually use in seriousness now. And that word is crisertunity. Because with each crisis, there is an opportunity. So tonight, as we think about the role of the mosque and we ask ourselves, how can we thrive in times of crisis? How can we embrace the crisertunities that are around us on such a regular basis? I present to you a few different ways of thinking about what you can do, what all of us can do together. What can we do individually to embrace the crisertunities? First, I want to quote somebody who I hold in very high regard. His name is Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool. He was, until recently, South Africa's ambassador to the United States. He was active in the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, along with a host of other Muslims. He was jailed, and he later rose in the Mandela government and became a governor of one of the provinces in South Africa and continued to serve his country, again, until recently, where he was the South African ambassador to the US. I heard a talk he did about a month ago at an ISNA conference in Chicago, where I was. And the simple sentence that was the thesis of his talk has stuck with me ever since. And that is that each one of us, as a result or as a reflection of our reading of the Quran, must embrace resilience and must exude compassion. Embrace resilience, exude compassion. This is a formula to keep us going. It's a mantra that can help us to remember what our purpose is and to remember our strength, particularly in moments of crisis, in moments where we feel down. He described those people as being the companions of the right hand. And I don't know if he pulled that from a hadith. My notes weren't good enough to clarify. But it's something that stuck with me. And it also, again, is in line with something that ISPU found in their recent poll, which is that those who reported being discriminated against that more than half of American Muslims reported being discriminated against in the last year, personally, far higher than any other faith group. And they did do this poll of many different faith groups. But that of those who did report that they had been discriminated against, that their response was that they were more likely to engage in community and civic activities. Rather than withdraw, rather than put themselves on the margin, rather than say, what's the point? They're just going to hate me anyway. That American Muslims who said that they actually experienced discrimination were more likely to roll up their sleeves and get more involved. And I think that that's a positive sign of our faith. It's a positive sign of what's powerful and what's possible when we utilize our faith to confront difficult times. It also mirrors something that Allah tells us in the Quran. I'm not a native Arabic speaker. You might guess that already. But this is one of a handful of verses that I have memorized in Arabic, and so I will share my bad Arabic with you, and I hope you forgive me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم انفروا خفافا وثقالا وجاهدوا بأموالكم وأنفسكم في سبيل الله ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون, which means go forth whether you're equipped lightly or heavily and strive with your wealth and your lives in the cause of God. That is best for you if you but knew. Allah tells us very clearly, there's no excuse. I hear people tell me all the time, well, I don't have a PhD in Islamic studies. I have an accent. I have, or I don't have the things that I need in order to talk about my faith, in order to be comfortable engaging with my neighbors on my street. And the truth is that each one of us has enough. Allah has given us enough. And that we do not need to rely on our Islamic knowledge so much as we need to rely on our Islamic hearts. The hearts that are open. Thank you. The hearts that are open Because ultimately, it's when we connect from our hearts to our neighbors' hearts that real change happens. And the fact that this room was packed with your Sacramento neighbors ready to stand up and be united we stand says a lot about the interest of people to gather with us and stand alongside people who are marginalized. We focus so much on the discrimination, the hate crimes, the hate incidents, and they are real, brothers and sisters. But in every mosque that I have had a relationship with in this country, and every mosque that I checked in with after San Bernardino and after Paris and after Brussels, they reported over and over again that the outpouring of love and support that they received outshadowed, outmeasured the hate and the discrimination by 10 to 1 at least. That there was far more love that they received from neighbors than hate and animosity. And my sense is that that was the case here too at the SALAM Center. So there are plenty of good hearts left, and we should focus on them. So that's the first thing. Embrace resilience, exude compassion.